Welcome to The Explainer. We're diving into the pretty wild evolution of AI. You know how it's going from just a tool that you tell what to do to a genuine autonomous teammate that actually works alongside you. It's a huge shift.
All right, so here's the plan. First, we'll talk about why this tech revolution feels so different. Then we'll walk through the 3 levels of AI as we see them now: the tool, the assistant, and the agent. After that, we'll look at the big players in the race to build a super agent. And finally, we'll get into what this all means for your future. Let's jump in.
Okay, first up, a new tech revolution. So you hear that a lot, right? This time, it's different. But with AI, it really is. To see where this is all going, we really have to get why this particular wave is, well, just not like anything we've ever seen before.
Right. Think about pretty much every other major technology, computers, the internet. They always started top-down. They began with governments or huge corporations, and then slowly, eventually, they trickled down to the rest of us. Well, AI just completely flipped that script. It went bottom up. It just exploded almost overnight, right into the hands of billions of people on their own computers. That's never happened before.
And that completely changes your role, my role, our role at work. You see, the focus is shifting. It's less about being the doer, the person who executes the tasks. Our real value now is becoming the architect. The one who designs the whole system, who sets the big goals, and then directs the AI to actually do the heavy lift.
Okay, so if we're going to be architects, we have to know our building blocks, right? Let's start with level 1, the foundation. This is the AI that you're probably already using, maybe even every single day.
You can really think about this whole evolution as a 3-step journey. We start with a basic tool. Then, that tool gets smarter and becomes an assistant. And the final step, it becomes a true teammate.
So, level 1, that's the large language model, the LLM. And look, it's incredibly powerful, but it's also passive. It's kind of like a genius who's locked in a room with only a library of old books. It can answer questions based on what's in that library, but it has zero awareness of the outside world. It can't check your email, it can't look up today's weather. It only knows what's in its training data and what you type into the box.
And yeah, you definitely know these names. We're talking about ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Anthropic's Claude. These are the workhorses of AI right now. They're amazing for stuff like drafting an email or brainstorming ideas, but at the end of the day, they're stuck inside that chat window.
All right, let's move on to level 2. This is where AI gets a major upgrade. It's where it starts to break out of that locked room and connect to the real world. This is the jump from a simple tool to a genuine assistant.
So what's an AI assistant? Well, it uses something called a workflow. Think of it as a pre-approved plan that lets the LLM reach outside itself to access other tools and real-time data. Now it can check your calendar or pull from a weather app. But here's the key thing. You are still the manager. You have to set up those connections, you define the plan, and you make the important decisions.
A perfect example of this is a system that uses something called RAG. That stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, which is really just a fancy way of saying the AI can go look up current facts before it gives you an answer. Or think about a tool like Google's Notebook LM, which can read through your documents and help you connect the dots. The AI is doing more complex, multi-step things for sure, but you're still the one pulling the strings.
Okay, and that brings us to the biggest jump of all, level 3. This is where AI goes from being an assistant that you manage to an autonomous teammate that you collaborate with.
So what's the magic word here? Autonomy. That's what makes an AI agent totally different. With an assistant, you give it a to-do list. With an agent, you give it a goal. You don't say, search for flights to Paris, then check hotels, then look at restaurants. You just say, plan a great weekend trip to Paris for me. And the agent, it figures out all the steps. It reasons, it plans, it acts, and it even corrects itself along the way until the job is done. Your role changes completely. You're not the manager anymore. You're the director, setting the vision.
So how does it do all that? Well, the core logic behind most of these agents is a framework called React. It's actually pretty intuitive. First, the agent reasons. It thinks about the problem and what the next logical step should be. Then it acts. It takes that step. And it just keeps doing that over and over. Reason, act, act. It's this constant loop of thinking and doing that gets it to the goal.
Now, let's be clear. We don't have one single, all-knowing, all-powerful agent, at least not yet. What we do have are really impressive, specialized agents. You've got services like Lovable, where you can just describe a website you want and it just builds it. Or GenSpark, an agent that can handle complex research projects all by itself. So the future isn't coming all at once. It's arriving in these specialized, powerful pieces.
And naturally, this kind of potential has started an absolute gold rush. It's a full-on race to build the ultimate super agent. All the biggest names in tech are pouring billions into this, and what's really fascinating is that they're all coming at it from slightly different angles.
So let's break down the key players. You've got OpenAI, and they're not shy about it. They're going for AGI, Artificial General Intelligence, basically the brain of the world. Then there's Google, which is focused on building a world model, an AI that understands the world so well it can act on your behalf proactively. Meta's goal is a bit more personal. They want to give everyone a personal superintelligence to help with daily life. And then you have XAI, which is taking this really wild, unique approach. They want to build an AI that reasons from the absolute first principles of the universe, like the laws of physics.
And this quote from Sam Altman at OpenAI really just puts their ambition on full display. Surpasses human capabilities in all spheres of activity. I mean, let that sink in. They're not just trying to build a faster calculator or a better search engine. The goal is to create something that is, on a fundamental level, more capable than a human being at, well, everything.
And if you think that sounds like far-off science fiction, just look at the timeline. The CEO of Anthropic, one of OpenAI's biggest rivals, said that in the next 3 to 6 months, AI will generate up to 90% of software. That's not a 10-year plan. That's basically tomorrow. The speed of this is just staggering.
So, the billion-dollar question. What does this actually mean for you and for me? How does this massive shift from AI as a tool to AI as a teammate really change our jobs, our careers, and the skills that matter?
Well, the skills that are most valuable are changing, and they're changing fast. You know, for the longest time, the most important skill was execution, just being really, really good at doing a task. But that's not the future. Tomorrow's most critical skill is systemic thinking. It's about being able to zoom out, see the entire system, break a huge, messy problem down into clear goals, and then architecting the plan for an AI agent to go and execute perfectly.
And again, this is not some far-flung prediction. According to the research firm Gartner, a full 25%, that's 1 in 4 companies, will already be testing out AI agents in their business as soon as next year. The transition isn't coming, it's already happened.
So we want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. As we step into this new world where we're literally working side by side with autonomous AI, it really forces us to question all of our old ideas about what a team is, what a role is, what leadership even means. So here's the question. When your AI is truly your teammate, who's the manager?